you very much for your time.
Thank you very much.
It's an honor to have you here.
Yep.
So, wow, already seen your CV through LinkedIn.
Yeah.
So you're a corporate warrior.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you tell me a little bit about yourself, your background, and
Okay.
then a little bit of Saison, please?
Sure. Okay. So first of all, I'm Ikegamai, and actually, of course, I'm Japanese, and I born and bred in Japan.
Yeah.
And then my career is just only the current company's group, that Saison group, or we call the credit Saison group. And then I started the kind of career in this company since the beginning. Means that after I graduated from the university, I joined this group. And as you may know, that kind of Japanese typical like a culture is like the Japanese always working in the one company or one group for a longer time, like 10 years, 20 years, or until the a retirement. So that's the kind of the culture is there in Japan. And I joined this company since the beginning, and I think in total more than 15 years.
15 years.
Yeah, I have been working at this company group. And in the beginning, of course, I was working at the Credit Saison Japan, and which is one of the kind of largest non-bank finance company in Japan. And the primary business is we issue the credit card for the retail customers. And if I'm not mistaken, that we have around 35 million credit card members in Japan. Based on the kind of numbers of the credit card and also numbers of transaction volume, we are one of the largest. But on the other hand, also we do some of the a typical finance products such as leasing, factoring, any other a finance guarantee model and those. And plus we do some of the payment, the business, like a prepaid card business or any a payment business, and some of the property loan business, and also entertainment and those. So means that not only the non-bank finance company, but also we do some of the multiple business in Indonesia. And then I was working in Japan as totally around 6 years.
Okay.
And then at the time, the credit Saison group is looking for the new member who wanna try into the overseas market or overseas business. So I was raising my hands, and I was appointed. So
you're Singapore, India, Vietnam, and all Malaysia.
Yeah, actually Singapore, India is not so quite new, but at the time I was appointed as the kind of global business or overseas business. It was in 2012, so almost 10 years back. But at the time, just only we have an entity in China. That's it. And then another opportunity was in Vietnam. So it means that we just only have two options at the time: China or Vietnam. And then I was appointed as the China's business, and I was focusing on the China at the time. But after that, we decided to jump into the Indonesian market. And then I was moving to here, Indonesia. And then I had been working here since 2013 until 2020. And then during that time, 2013 until 2020, we established the kind of regional headquarters in Singapore. And we started some of the corporate venture capital business in Singapore. And also, we started some Vietnamese business. And we established some company in Thailand, as you mentioned, India, and then recently we established we are ready to start a business in the Latin America, like Brazil and Mexico. So not only the Asia, but also the Latin America. Yeah, Latin America. We are expanding. So yeah, that's a group business. And in my career. As I mentioned earlier, I have been staying here for around 6 or 7 years, 2013 until 2020, and I moved to Singapore. I was appointed as the position of Singapore, and I was doing some of the impact investing, offshore debt things. and I just support some of the Singapore things. And then I think at the end of 2021, I was appointed again here in Indonesia. So you should go back to Indonesia.
So we got you back in Indonesia.
Yeah, I'm back. I already back to here. So yeah, that's my career, and then what is our business in Japan, and also what is the global business in our group company.
Yeah. Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
So becoming the largest credit card provider in Japan, is it something to do with like the Japanese? I always admire them. They always do things like with the perfection. Is it something to do with Kaizen, Ikigai?
Okay.
Okay. From your point of view, how do you relate like the culture to innovation probably? Is it like the Japanese always doing their best?
Yeah.
They must do just like Gambate, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
Okay.
They always do the best and keep on improving on the Kaizen and then with the perfection. So what's your take on those famous Japanese? It's very famous for the business world.
Okay.
I want to learn, and I'm sure the audience want to learn.
Okay, I understand. Yeah, there are some of the Japanese like popular words in the world I know, and if I simply translate it from the Kaizen, it's a kind of improvement. I think the improvement is kind of general word for the business in the world. But what is a bit difference from the Japanese perspective and the non-Japanese perspective is to do the kind of Kaizen, as the Japanese style is very detailed, and also we really care about the kind of not only the strategy but also the how can we execute it with the timeline basis and by when, and the kind of the strict like a plan we always make it. I think why the kind of culture of Japanese is happened is, I think because of the education. From the kind of kindergarten until university, most of the Japanese of course in Japan, and then we grew up in Japan, right? And then the kind of educational strategy of Japan is quite like matured and also very organized. So why most of the Japanese is kind of the way that everything is very detailed, and the kind of the style is the discipline, and also we try to follow that kind of strategy and plan as much as possible. So that's a kind of because of the education, including the kind of Kaizen things and all any how can I say that, like business standards that happen because of the education. That's my understanding.
Education.
Yeah, education was
like
important.
Important roles.
Yeah.
Education and discipline.
Yeah. For example, let me say that I got the gap between Indonesian culture and Japanese culture. One thing is, as if I'm not mistaken, that in the case of Japan, if we are in the primary school, we always clean up our classroom every day.
Yes.
By student.
I saw it on the internet.
Yeah. So every day, mostly every day. Clean up the desk, clean up the chairs.
So they have responsibility right from the beginning.
Yeah, we do by ourselves. But in the case of Indonesia, as if I'm mistaken, that most likely like students don't do it.
Yeah.
The kind of cleaner is there.
We never been told.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So that's I think the like clear understanding what's the difference. We do by ourselves and then clean up everything every day. Those kind of the gap is there, I think, in the educational space.
Education space. Oh, thank you. So education and discipline, that's one of the key. Yeah. So have you experienced failure while working in Saison? Because there's one very interesting word in Japan, how they overcome failure and turning from failure into plus. Like kintsugi.
I think okay.
I think it's I think kintsugi. Correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah. If they have a broken object and they want to repair, they put gold on it. So they embracing failure. So they are like proud with their failure. They're turning from failure to plus.
Yeah.
So I want to learn more about kintsugi. Yes.
Yeah. To be honest, I'm not sure that I'm not the representative of the Japanese people. But in my life, to be honest, kintsugi is not so popular. Like words for the business, like kind of Kaizen or those is quite popular, but kintsugi is not so like popular. That's my understanding. But to your point, I think I think it's a bit similar with the Kaizen words, and to the like the Kintsugi words, because we always to care about the details. So it means that if we find any, even if the small issue or any small problem, we try to improve it. We always care about even if the big issue or small issue, we don't care about the size of it. So that kind of the sense is, I think, the one of the Kintsugi's word. I believe, I'm not sure the kind of the global Kintsugi meaning and also the Japanese Kintsugi meaning, but yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you turning embrace it into details. So the Japanese always go into details. Because I always admire like Japanese, like for example, Japanese economy. If you compare, like I think you have minimal resources, but you have the fighting spirit and you have the will. Like you become Japanese become the second largest world economies. Is it something to like Ganbaru?
Ganbaru is a kind of semangat, I guess. In bahasa,
How do you practice Ganbaru in the workplace organization? And how to motivate? Is it something to do that you motivate your team?
Yeah, I think the Ganbaru itself is a kind of in bahasa it's a semangat or those, and in English I think they do the best. I think, but I think the I think you're right. Japanese people do the Ganbaru, means they do the best always for work. Like as you can imagine, and as you may know that like a Japanese culture, typical one. I'm not sure the recent one, but the typical one is even if there are so many like overtime work, as much as possible Japanese people do the overtime work until, let's say, even if the like a late night, like 11 or 12 at the time, we try to do the work as much as there is a kind of responsibility, or as much as there is any like the tasks. So that's a culture of we try to do the best and also try to do the hard work. Because of, I think the Japanese people's like working life priority is really, really high. So why, even if the Japanese people has a family, they try to work as much as possible, do the best for the work. Yeah, that's a kind of priority, the gap.
How to balance between work and personal life?
I think recently the kind of the balance is changing. I mean the more typical one, traditional like generation is more high priority on the work. Even if the people has a family, they don't much care about the family first. They really care about the work first, and then the second family. But now,
for the younger generation.
The younger generation, more younger than me, generation is changing to the family first, or the kind of But the typical one is a more like a working life. I think.
So it's already started because there's I heard in Japan right now they have some of the school is closed.
Because of the like population.
The population, yes. So they are inviting generation. But I think the one person to be invited in Japan to have education in Japan, they should have a big privilege.
Yes.
You have, to my opinion, you have one of the best culture in the world. So we were talking about culture. They're very, very, very interesting. So based from your Japanese culture and you're working in Indonesia, so beside the gap, you see the gap in education. What kind of area do you see the gap in the organization? Like, let's say, like, because the Japanese, when I was in Tokyo, like a few years back, people started leaving the office starting from 10 p.m. or 11, and they start looking for food. But here, for the Indonesian culture, like, most of the staff that we live like 5 or 6. But there's a gap. And how do you maintain those gaps for success in Indonesia?
Actually, I think that based on the kind of style and also the culture, but our company's, I believe our company's style and also my style is as much as possible, we try to adjust the local standard. Otherwise, why we came to here? So that's my I believe that our company's because we are the foreigner, we are not Indonesian. So why not we adjust to the kind of like Indonesian culture as much as possible? Of course, we should keep at least a minimum based on the governance perspective or any risk perspective. We should keep the bottom line. But as much as we can keep the bottom line, why we don't adjust to the local people? So I like our company. Most of the people, our working hour is 9 to 5:30, but 99% of our employees go to home like 5:30, just on time. But I don't care, and I accept always. Yeah.
I think Japanese culture is very polite.
Yeah.
I think whenever you come to Singapore, then you're gonna match Singapore culture. You come to Indonesia, Saison, you're gonna match Indonesian culture.
Yeah.
So, how do you see that works? Like between how do you manage that?
Okay, I get the point. Okay. How can I say that? I think to the point, because if there is a 100 tasks there, right? And then in the case of Japanese people who take on it, and then maybe the person can be done the 100 in a day, but maybe the people who should work until late night, for example, until 12 a.m. or the 11 p.m. But in the case of Indonesia, maybe the Indonesian people go home around 5:30, right? So maybe that person can finish like maybe 60 or 70% of that out of 100, right? In the case of that, but if we need to finish that 100 in that day, in the case of that, as a management perspective and management point of view, that why we didn't appoint a 2 person.
I see.
So we know what is the capacity and what is the ability and what is the possibility of our member. Right? That is our responsibility to understand the kind of ability, possibility, and those. And then in the beginning, if I am the manager of the kind of task person, why I didn't appoint a 2 person? That's my fault.
Okay.
So that's kind of management style is important to minimize gap, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you put in extra resources.
Yeah. As much as we need it, why not?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, may I ask, like, for the leadership for Japanese culture, if you may say, is it closer to leadership, like leadership style, or more like a boss style?
Okay. I think there is no specific situation in Japan as well. It means that as a generation, like a generational, like a changing, it's moving from the boss style to the leader style. Even in Japan, as far as I know, it's happening. Kind of previously the boss style, and now it's moving to the leader style. That's my understanding. I think there is no huge gap between the like outside of Japan and Japan.
Okay,
Yeah.
so it's already transforming.
Yeah.
Okay. So, do you see leadership style works for a Japanese company working in Asia? Is it gonna be more boss style? Is gonna be more working?
It's a difficult question, actually.
Sorry.
I was facing some of the situation like here in Indonesia, because I feel sometimes the boss style is good for the Indonesian people, because sometimes it's good that leader style is good for the Indonesian people. The kind of mixture, and it depends on the situation, and then depends on the members. But I feel, how can I say that? That our criticism of company culture is most likely the leader style than the boss style. So when I work with some of the Indonesian members, sometimes they feel that they more comfortable with the boss style. And then, hey, you should do this by when and how and those, right? Kind of like a strict rules and strict order or strict request there. But leader style is leading the members. And then let's try to do this together, and if you are in trouble, just let me know those, right? But sometimes I feel that international people is not so comfortable with the leader's style. I feel. So yeah, back to your question that.
So it's also about balancing.
Yeah, the kind of balancing is needed. So I personally try to adjust based on the members or the situation. Sometimes I try to do the kind of boss style, and sometimes I try to do the leader style. But I more prefer the leader style, the kind of new generation things.
To give inspiration, yes. As a leader to give inspiration. So, who's your favorite leaders?
Yeah, actually, there's no.
There is no.
I don't have any. I don't know why. I never think that such who is the best for me, like a Jeff Bezos or any Masayoshi Son or whoever. Of course I like them, and also I respect them very much. But I don't want to become any person. I am. Like how can I say? Yeah. So I don't have any ideal people. Some things is coming from the Masayoshi Son. Some things is coming from the Jeff Bezos or something like anyone. Yeah. So pick up the good point from any leaders is okay, and then to be me is that best way. So that's my style. Yeah.
Bezos, I would say he has a transformational leadership style.
Yeah.
Agree,
I agree. Yeah.
Mas, I would say I think he must have both style.
Yeah.
But Mas is working very hard though. He's working very hard. Yeah. Although he's not Japanese, but he's still working very, very hard.
Right.
Yeah, he deserves what he gets right now. It's very interesting. So, you already mentioned how you build company cultures, and then it's very, very interesting. So, can you tell me a little bit like Saison social value to Indonesian, like you're working on global resources social value in Singapore, where you bring more social mission. What is social mission?
Okay. I think this is super simple. That we call of course the kind of general words, but the financial inclusion.
Financial inclusion. Okay.
Yeah, because we are the non-bank finance company in Japan, and what we can do for the outside of Japan is we bring the kind of the knowledge and also the resources from Japan to the overseas to support that kind of country growth, right? So based on that kind of things, we say that we like to become kind of one of the we call the neo finance company in Asia, and with some of the financial inclusion in the outside of Japan. That's our team, and also the kind of the mission of the global business. And based on that, not only giving the financial products to the customer, but also we do some of the education thing to the university student, and sometimes we join some event and then telling what is the standard of the lending business and those. So we do the kind of financial literacy improvement activity and those we do.
So filling the gap. Filling the answer.
Correct.
That's a very good question. How do you motivate? Like motivation is quite fun. How do you motivate your staff? Okay, because you work for. Is it going to be easier to motivate Japanese people, or is it easier to motivate Indonesian people? And how have you experienced any difficulty? And how to overcome?
Okay. I think that's gonna be my style, personal style, not our company style. I believe, but my style is always I wanna try to communicate with our members as a human being, because
bring more human into the workplace.
Yeah, as a human being, actually what is important is kind of happiness, right? One of, well, I believe the one of, like a kind of ikigai things, but kind of happiness is important. But each person's happiness is different, like definition of happiness.
Yeah.
Sometimes people more prefer the money, sometimes people more prefer the family, and sometimes people more prefer travel to go around, and those kind of happiness is different. And as much as possible, I try to understand each member's what is their happiness and or those motivation things, and then touching to their human being. And then I try to understand it. And in the case of Mr. A, I'm saying that with the family things, but for the like Miss C, I'm talking about the family things. So as much as possible, I wanna touch the kind of like a human being basis. And then, of course, based on their happiness, they will be motivated more how to work it. Because work is, of course, just only one of the option. And then for like obtaining more money or the more experience or like a challenge to the new things and those, right? So I think just only the work is an option. So to survive.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
So you do motivate your staff.
Yeah.
I would say customize.
Yeah.
Based on their needs.
Yeah.
Based on it. So more like if I may say, if I may connect here, that you what you're doing right now is according to Maslow theory.
Yeah.
That just like a pyramid. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you feel each of the staff with their needs to find their happiness. That's very good. Is there any? That's the pros here. Is there any cons from that kind of motivation styles?
Okay. The cons is, I think there is a cons. Because, of course, when I talk with some of the members, I have some of the goal or what I want to tell to them. Like kind of casual communication, I don't have any goal or that kind of. But in the case of, if I want to talk something about the business, of course I should tell something to the people, right? But how to tell, I customize. But in the case of like one of our members' style is a bit like a complicated or the kind of characteristic is quite unique. In the case of that I should adjust to that kind of characteristic very much, right? In the case of that, it's a bit hard to say what I want to say. So you know what I mean? That there is a goal, and then what I want to say is there. But if the member's characteristic is quite unique, in the case of that, I need to go around and then finally I can achieve the goal. But if the kind of characteristic is kind of simple people, I can say it straightforward, right? So the concept is sometimes taking long time, to achieve the goal. Yeah, that's my concept.
Okay, that's great. So, Saison, sorry, I want to say, corporation in the world, right now they are racing to working towards sustainability. So most of the annual report they include sustainability report, like we would say like financial inclusion and probably like a few months back I saw like Saison making a donation to schools.
Yeah.
So can you tell me a little bit of your sustainability, Saison sustainability missions in Indonesia and
Okay. Yeah, actually, we did a kind of school donation, but that was very first time for us to do the donation. So of course we like to continue to do the kind of things. But of course, as a like a social responsibility perspective, of course we do the kind of sustainability activities as much as possible. But sometimes we are struggling to find the best sustainability activities because I think that is one of my thinking that I always think that which is better. If we have $100, and then which one should we give the one
right
Is it too human or to the nature?
Okay.
I'm always thinking that which one is the best, which one is better. I don't have an answer yet. So I personally still struggling. So why we do the school donation, but also that we do the kind of planting or live in the nature. But I'm personally struggling, and if someone has an answer for me, I'm welcome to answer here.
Okay.
Because if we save the human and keep, to support for surviving the human, the population is increasing. But if the population is increasing, nature is getting worse. Right?
It is.
But if we keep the nature, maybe the best for saving the nature is all people should be died.
Just like the pandemic, like the total lockdown.
Yeah.
It's different. Yeah. Even you say the sky is blue.
Yeah.
There's a pollution. Right?
Yeah. So sorry, that was not the answer, but my big question is here.
Yeah.
Which one is better?
I think that kind of question that I also ask you. Between people, profit and planet. So how do we balance within these three here? Because we are I think we are in the sustainable finance 2.0. That we haven't go to sustainable finance 3.0. That we have to achieve those objectives. And how do you balance it? Probably you still even I still confused. People or planet. But if you have two options, okay, people and planet, profit. How do you balance it?
Okay. I think really like a tricky question. But and also I can say that I think here, not here in Indonesia, but also in the world, and also as of today, I think there is no right answer or there is no accurate answer. But I think what is the most important is take action is the most important.
Action is the most important.
Yeah. So first of all,
very good.
Before
we have to start doing
before finding the right answer or accurate answer, nothing to do is the worst scenario, I think. Take action and to struggling, like you asked me that what is the answer, but try to do it sometime, I failed this, okay, next time let's try to do it, and then going around and finding the right answer, and then finally we will be in the goal, I believe. But take action first is the most important. As much as we feel that the kind of sustainability things or the saving the earth or saving the people, it's good things, we feel, let's try to take action, and then sometimes we fail, sometimes we success, and try to find a better answer. And then eventually the better answer will be the best answer, I believe. But I think there is no right answer. And then there is no accurate answer for what is the comparison between the profit and the kind of sustainability. That's my feeling.
Previously, I was facing the same dilemmas.
Okay.
Because Danamart is working towards sustainability. We have to balance with the profit, with the planet. We are changing because we are pivoting from peer-to-peer lending to sebuah. So at this stage, I have to decline some of the mining projects.
Okay.
I have to decline some of related like damaging the societies because previously we have those kind of portfolio. Now I have to decline. But that's our best. Hopefully we can contribute more. Okay. How do you see multi-finance industry for the next 5 years?
In Indonesia, right?
Indonesia.
Okay. I think simply say gonna be much better, I believe, as a market was. Because why I can say that is there are so many good opportunity are coming, and also there is so many good potential here in Indonesia. Even if I compare the size of the market with the other country, especially Japan, the Indonesia has a still huge gap of the market size and how much is the multi-finance companies as of today. And also everybody knows that kind of EV, electric vehicles like 2 wheels, 4 wheels are coming up, right? In the world.
So Saison is supporting EVs.
I'm not sure yet, but
it's good between planet, just like planet and people.
Yeah,
hopefully can bring some profit as well.
Yeah, it's gonna be, and also the kind of 2 wheels, 4 wheels market quite huge in Indonesia, right? And previously the kind of the typical traditional like vehicles to the EV, it's gonna be kind of double market, right? And then additionally, here in Indonesia there is plenty the resources for the selling the materials to the overseas and all generate the kind of materials and resources here in Indonesia. So potential is really, really high. But I think, of course, we should collaborate with the like authorities and also the other competitor multi-finance company and how to make a better market and how to grow together. We are not competition. Like we should be the one, like not team, like one. Like a society that how to grow the multi-finance company market, but I feel there's huge potential and there is a super big the gap. So yeah, I have a confidence that it's gonna be growing more and more. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Very optimistic. Very happy. Very happy.
Otherwise, I cannot be here.
So for the multi-finance industry, do you see the next 5 years, is it going to be more opportunity or is it going to be more threat from, let's say, from Indonesian external environment, let's say political, legal, from regulators? Is it going to be more strict or is it going to be more rules, and how do you adapt to technology?
In terms of the kind of regulation or the kind of the like regulators' perspective, I think of course it's always a balance. Yeah, some of the things should be the loosen and some things should be the like tighten. So that's a balance. So, but I think I feel personally, and I'm not Indonesian, but I feel like Indonesian government, like of course the OJK, is trying to adjust the new things. For example, since 2016 or 2017, that P2P lending, like you, are coming up, right? Yeah. And then
now it's already declining. It's already declining since
previously, right? Yeah, previously, yeah. And then Indonesian like OJK and BI and those kind of like regulator adjust to the new digital lending, right?
Okay.
As much as there is a kind of
the technology as
well. As much as they open to the kind of the new things, I think it's gonna be growth. But if they shut down the kind of the new things, I think it's gonna be getting worse. So as much, So that's my things. Yeah.
Japan is very famous for innovation, like always for the best. But if you're talking about from financial perspective, like probably fintech, Web3, blockchain and all, how the Japanese government sees this kind of technology in Japan?
Sorry, I couldn't catch the point. So in Japan?
In Japan, how the Japanese authorities, Japanese regulator, seeing this kind of emerging technology, just like a blockchain.
In Japan.
In Japan.
Yeah. Sorry, I haven't been in Japan for 10 years. I just as much as I know.
Are they really pushing it because they are very innovation minded, or they are just pick the balance between traditional finance and there's a new digital finance?
I personally feel always Japanese government is like balancing between traditional or the existing player first. And then if the new innovation is coming up, try to adapt it. But I feel if I compare with the other country and Japan, that I think Japanese government is more strict to save the existing player.
Okay.
Yeah, some kind of.
I think they are very maintain stability and financial stability.
Yeah, try to adapt, but much or the more strict than the other country. So, for example, let's say the taxi, Grab and those Gojek or Ubers and those, right? But there is no. As far as I know, there is no Grab, there is no Gojek. Just only Uber provide Uber foods.
Uber Eats,
Uber Eats, sorry. Uber Eats, that's it. So,
I think I didn't see any when I was there.
Yeah.
Always. Okay.
Some of the typical a taxi a company provide their own apps, and then quite similar function of the Grab and Gojek and those. So means that first of all, government try to see the new innovational companies then we need a balance of the existing players try to enter the market, but I think more strict than the other country. I feel
Yeah, basically because they have to protect their
they're a market first.
Yeah. They're protected. Okay. I would like to say to the audience like you have kan baru semangat ya.
Yeah, semangat or do the best.
Do the best.
Yeah.
Okay, can you please talk to them how to motivate them, because our audience is young entrepreneurs or people to inspire to become entrepreneurs and corporate leaders. Can you please say how to say semangat? Yeah. What's your word on semangat?
Oh.
Okay.
Sorry. What should I do? So.
How to motivate them?
How to motivate the audience.
Yes. And this is going to be our audience. They just finished universities and they just want to start a business.
Okay. Okay, I can say based on my life that I think this is quite general things, but please try to think your life first. Not only the work, not only the family, and I recommend to you to think about life. Sometimes the people, it's better to set the kind of the dream, but I think it's not only dream, but sometimes people doesn't need to care about dream. I think I personally have a dream, but I don't strongly recommend to all the people. Sometimes people, I don't want to think about the dream. I just happy with in the day. It's okay. In that case, I think it's okay. As much as that people is happy. So first of all, it's better to think about your life. What is the most the happiness for you? And then based on that, you can decide which way do you want to go. And if there is no dream, it's okay. And then, but okay, you wanna happy in a day. Then what is the happy? And then having the good food or just sleeping in the bed. And then based on that, you can make a decision and you can make the way of where do you want to go. So that is quite simple things and quite general things, but sometimes people don't think about it deeply. That's my understanding. So think your life. That's it. As a human being. Yeah.
So from our discussion, if I may conclude, you were saying that some of the takeaways. Like the first is detail. And then discipline. Then you mentioned a few times discipline. And then education.
Education is important, I think.
Okay. So this is the three success factors. Yes. So
I believe so. And then as a human being. It's important.
Ikegamai-san, it's a very honor to have you here. Thank you very much for the support.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Appreciate.
Appreciate
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
ありがとう。
ありがとうございます。